So you believe that the Kebbeh that RSM Sanyang was talking about and the Kebbeh that Edward was referring to is not you, and that is mistaken identity?
No, for RSM Sanyang, it's just out of, I don't know, because I went to RSM Sanyang broad daylight, and he knows me very well. We are staying together. So he cannot mix me with anybody. He was just trying to play games. And what he was saying wasn't true, was not the least. I've never seen RSM Sanyang at that night going to the extent of telling him to fall in the man. Who am I? May Alan's couple? This man doesn't know that I know my bits. Even if I was part of that, I will not take that responsibility. A junior couple to go and tell a whole RSM, come and fall in the man. What army is that?
So what happened after the call from BI?
So he said, let me just don't create problems for him. He decided to ring off the phone. I said, okay. Then that's the time Sana came in, Sana Sabali. He said, Kebbeh. I said, yes, sir. He said, you should be the last person to join this boys. I told him, sir, that will show you that I am not part of anything.
Why did he say that to you?
Okay, it's because Sana is my class. We joined army the same day. I'm older than him. I worked with his father. The time I was working with agriculture under guard. The father was at agriculture. I was working under a project, guard project. It's an agricultural project that came here from US. So I was their maintenance manager. You see? So I worked with Sana's father, Pabiji Sabari. By that time, I don't know Sana. You see? So during the time of our recruitment, when we are familiarizing to each other, that's the time he told me that he's from Kasakunda. I told him, anyway, I know a man by the name Pabiji Sabari. He said, he's my father. I said, that man is more a dad to me. We did a lot. We are working together. That's the time I told him, anytime you go home, tell your father that I met Mr. Kebbeh. When he make the father to know that, the father told him that that man is a brother to hold him. That's how we became used to each other. My wife can bear me witness. Anytime Sana came to Banjul, he would go and visit my family. The time I was in Birkama, Sana used to come there every day, almost. When they close work, straight to Birkama camp. My wife used to dish out food for them. I used to go around my house, leave them there with my music set. They enjoy themselves. Until last was, they come back to barracks.
So what happened after Sana told you that?
So when I told him that will show you that I will not be part of anything. So it was a little bit silence between me and him. At the time I had the shot from my left. It went inside this leg and buried itself here. I fall down. So,
can you please give us a description of what occurred in that room, where you were, where Sana was, and where the shot came from?
Okay, I was sitting at the corner of the guard room. The provost table is just in front of me like this, so Sana was sitting on the table. At my left-hand side, there was a camp bed there where Edu was sitting. I think it's good. I don't see him trying to aim to shoot at me. It could have been more worse on my side. Maybe I will try to defend myself from that bullet that it can touch me somewhere which will do more harm than good.
So the shot came from Edward?
From Edward. So it passed through this left leg and buried itself inside this right one. I fall down. Edward rose and put the pistol on here to finish me, but he was shot by Sana. Stop it. That's the time he stopped.
What was the last name of Edward?
Edward Singati.
His?
Pardon?
His rank then?
Was the council members. By the time they were lieutenant, I think after that time, that's the time they promote themselves to those big ranks.
Can you please tell us how you felt when the shot passed through your body, and from which angle of your body did it pass through, and where did it land?
It passed through my left thigh and landed itself on the right one. You know, the velocity of the bullet was dropped because of it passed through the left thigh. That's why it buried itself. It hit the heart of the bone of my right thigh, just 3 inches below the femur. That's where it broke. And so with that, it cannot go out again, so it had to lodge itself there.
What were you feeling at that time?
I was feeling horrible. Somebody who is shot, you can estimate the pain you have at the time. So when I fall down, he went to extend to complete me once and for all. So he was stopped by Sana. So where I was lying down, I was lying on a pool of blood. So Sana asked me to get up. I told him, sir, I cannot. To my own sense, he decided to assist me to get up. But later he felt reluctant. He decided to sit back and call my name. He called me, Couple Kebbeh. I said, yes, sir. He said, try and get up. I forced myself with the help of the left leg. At that time, this right leg was completely finished. So I sit back. Then I started feeling the pain, which I cannot estimate. I asked them to just finish me once and for all, because I cannot resist this pain. So that's the time Sana started shouting, call me the medic, call me the medic. That's how they rushed and called the medics. They came with their first aid kits. Sana told them, you cannot treat this man here. He's dying in our hearts, take him. That's how I was dragged to the clinic there.
Who dragged you to the clinic? Can you recall?
I think it's the medics and some men. By the time, definitely, even to see, it's a problem. I heard Kuli in his testimony saying that he was there assisting, but I cannot recognize him, to be quite honest with you. It's only Laisar who I can recognize. Because Lai was talking to me.
What was the rank of Laisar?
Laisar, I think he was a sergeant at the time, but from the TSG. But he was a medical officer too, at the time. He was the senior man at the medical side there.
What treatment did they administer to you when you got to the clinic?
No, there was nothing that they can do. Only they were taking cottons, stuffing it inside the wound to stop the blood, because blood was flowing all over, both legs. But this one was more serious than this one. So they were trying to stop the blood by putting cottons in there, because there was nothing that they can do other than that. So,
were you given any pain medication?
No, I was drinking water only. I asked them water frequently. They gave me 6 bottles of Evian, this big one. I drank. I came to understand after Lysar was stopping them for giving me water. I don't know whether I could have drink until I finished, or maybe the drinking was the source of that blood coming out all the time. So I asked them not to give me water anymore.
Can you recall for how long you laid down there before Sana called out for medic?
No, when I fall down, when this man shot me, I fall down. He ran and wanted to finish me. He said, stop it. That's the time he asked me to get up. When I try and get up myself, the pain I was feeling, I cannot estimate it. I said, finish me. I cannot resist the pain. So that's the time he started shouting, call me the medics, call me the medics. That's how these people came with first aid box. He said, you cannot treat this man here. Take him, take him. So that's how I was dragged to the clinic.
Apart from stuffing your leg with cotton to try and stop the bleeding, did you receive any other medical attention?
There was nothing there. There was nothing there. So...
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I think my time is up now. My time is up now for a break. So if we can pause the testimony here till we return. And I'd like to proceed with the witness. I apologize. I should have checked the time earlier in order to give time to the commissioners to ask questions, but I had lost track of time.
Thank you very much, Emma Council. I guess we would wait until we come back from the break, and if we have any questions, to pose those questions. In the meantime, we will take a 30-minute break, come back at... come back at 12 noon.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you very much. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Council, you may proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
You're welcome back, Mr. Kebbeh.
Thank you.
I just wish to remind you that you're still on the oath.
Yes, no.
So I'd like to give you a recap of your evidence so far and where you stopped.
No problem.
Before the break, you had mentioned that you were arrested at your in-laws' house in Banjulinding at 5 p.m. And you were asked to enter a small boot of a vehicle.
Yeah.
You were in that boot for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then later, the car stopped at Yundum Barracks, and you were asked to go into the guardroom. While entering the guardroom, you were slapped by JCB on the face.
Yeah.
And once you entered inside the guardroom, you saw Edward Singate, Sana Sabali, and some of their orderlies in the guardroom, and you sat in a chair. When you entered the guardroom, Edward called you the army commander, and he said you were the one that called the signal room, which you denied. And while you were having a conversation with Sana Sabali about that issue, Edward Singate shot you on the leg. The bullet passed through your left thigh into your right leg. And while you were bleeding, Sana called for medic, and you were taken to the clinic. And at the clinic, they tried to stop the bleeding by stuffing cotton in the wound. That's where you stopped with your evidence. Now, I just wish to ask you, apart from the treatment, like using of cotton on your wound, did you receive any other medical attention while you were at the clinic?
Not at all.
For how long did you remain in that condition?
I was there for 3 days because I was shot on Sunday, the 13th. So I was there Sunday, Monday, up to Tuesday, the 15th, around midday. That's the time they took me to hospital, RVTH.
For the 3 days that you were at the clinic, did you receive any painkillers? Because you did mention earlier that you were in so much pain after you were shot.
There was nothing that was given to me.
How were you feeling then?
All the time with pain, all the time with pain. Somebody bullet is inside his body. A foreign particle inside your body is a problem, much more a bullet. I will not shoot my enemy, I'll tell you this, with the experience I have.
So you mentioned that the bullet was still inside your body.
Yeah, it's inside my body. I don't lie on this side.
Where exactly was it lodged?
Around 3 inches below my femur, that's where it is here.
So what happened after the 3 days?
So they took me to hospital.
Hospital was that?
According to the medical officer, Lysar, since the time they shot my leg that Sunday, I don't know who informed the army commander then by the name Babukar Jata. So Babukar was calling at the clinic there.
Sorry, Mr. Kebbeh, I can barely hear you. Can you please move the microphone close to you so that...
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, that's...
Okay. So during that period, according to the medic, he was speaking with the army commander pertaining to my affairs, because I don't know how the army commander came to know that I was shot. Then he called Lysar, or Lysar called him, the medical officer, and tell him that I am called by Sana at the guard room, but I met the shot couple Kebbeh. He said, which couple Kebbeh are you referring to? He said, couple Alagie Kebbeh. He said, no, check the one they shot, according to Sir. So he said, I'm living with Kebbeh. So it's Kebbeh that they shot. You see? So that's the time he said, how is Kebbeh condition? How is his condition? He said, his condition is very serious, but he's trying to manage with things. Then Monday morning, he called By the time Lysar was in, it was the medical assistant who spent the night with me there, who took the phone and said, after he told me this, the army commander who was calling and he was asking for Lysar. Then later I came and said, the army commander was talking to me about your affairs. I think he's trying to do something. I said, okay. But I was all the time lying down with pain. So that's the time he told me, on Tuesday morning, he said, he came to me and said, Kebbeh, I was called by the army commander. He said, let me take you to the hospital. I said, okay, no problem. So he said, they are going for the ambulance. I said, okay. I was there till around midday. That's the time he came back. He said the ambulance was having problem, but it's already remedied. Now we can go. I said, okay. That's how they put me on a stretcher and took me inside the ambulance. Then I was taken to RBTH, where I was admitted.
For how long were you admitted at RBTH?
I was there, I think, from that November, December, January, February. A little after when I heard that this man was arrested, Sana Sabari, a little after that time, that's the time one fine day Lysar came and said that I was discharged by the hospital. Anyway, I said, okay. He said, but I'm taking you to the clinic. I said, okay, it's fine. So they took me to Yundum Barracks at the clinic there, where I spent a little time. One fine day, the military police came there. They said, I'm going on orders to the CO of one battalion, who was Vincent Diata, the late at the time.
While you were admitted at RBTH,
Yeah.
did your family know your whereabouts then?
Yeah, the first day it was a big problem because my wife came, they said they don't allow her to come in. My mother, the same thing. So until the second day, because I was admitted with a heavy guard there, soldiers were standing beside my bed with their weapons. So, but the second day, the guard who was there was, I forgot his name, but he was at least a reasonable somebody. My mother came very early. So the guard outside came and told him that, anyway, this old woman is the mother of Kebbeh. So he said, allow her to come in, no problem. I said, I even told him that, hope you will not have problem. He said, sir, no problem, feel free. I said, okay. Then my mother came.
Were they eventually able to remove the bullet from your right thigh?
This bullet is still here. I mean, I don't lie on this side. I don't lie on this side.
"25 years after that incident, the bullet is still in your right thigh."
Yeah, it's still here.
Are you okay to continue, Mr. Kebbeh? So apart from your family members, did any other army officer visit you while you were admitted at RBT? Can you please turn on the mic? It's off. Press on the green button.
At that time, most of these soldiers, they don't want to come closer to people like us because we fall victims. So there was a day, I understand, Sana Sabari's convoy had an accident. One of their orderlies had a broken hand and was brought to the same ward where I was admitted, 8 and 3. So in the evening, Peter Singate and John Gomez. I think he was a sergeant major at the time. John Gomez. They came to visit Albert, the only who had accident. So they learned that I was admitted in the same ward at the corner. So Peter came up to the side of my bed. As a junior officer to him, I still know Peter as far as service is concerned. Peter came to the army around 93, you see. So I just raised my hand to show respect on him, but he was not satisfied. He said, Couple Kebbeh, you are lying down here. I said, yes. He said, this is too small for you. He would have killed you. I just look at him and keep quiet. That's how he turned his back and go. Around that, no officer ventured to come and visit me.
Can you recall how many men were admitted at the hospital, the ones that had an accident?
Okay, no, it was only Albert that I know at the time. After, I think, after this Bait Sambajaro that came to arrest me with Fatih and that Kanilai, I understand he had a problem with the Zanramuri and he was shot on the buttocks and he was admitted at ICU. One fine day, I was just lying on my bed, he just came down. He said, sir, I learned that you are here, so I just come to see you. I said, okay, thank you. By that time, my late wife was there. She brought food. I asked her to dish out food so that we can eat together. We eat together, then we go back to his ward.
Just to be clear here, who are you referring to? The one that was shot? Fatih or Kanilai?
No, Bachsamba Jaro.
Bachsamba. Thank you. So how long was it while you were admitted? You said you were admitted 3 days after you were shot at RBT.
Yeah.
How long was it before Sanas Audley was admitted at the same hospital?
No, I cannot remember definitely the period, but it's not quite long. Because I understand their convoy had an accident at around Tabokoto, I don't know, Abukoyan. So Albert was a guy I know, so he was admitted in the same ward with me, with a broken hand. He's late now too.
You also mentioned that you were discharged and then sent to Yundum Barracks for others. Yeah. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I was sent for orders in the CO's office, who was Vincent Jatta at the time, the late. He was the commanding officer of 1 battalion. So he read my orders in front of RSM Sanyang, this Babukar Sanyang, and he said they are charging me for participating in that 11 November incident. I said no. I've never participated in anything. I don't even know about this 11 November incident. So that's the time Sanyang was called. He said, I went to him. What he said that day and what he said here is two different things. He, Sanyang, said, I went to him and said, my boss, Lieutenant Jaju, asked me to go to him for him to brief me.
And who was your own boss at that time?
It's Lieutenant Dabo, who was overseeing Quartermaster's office, not Lieutenant Jaju. Lieutenant Jaju was an engineer. So he said he doesn't know what to tell me. I started telling him that we are going after this council, Edward Singate, you name it, which was not true. Me, I've never sit with any council member for them to promise me anything. After the 22nd July, all soldiers know that that coup was planned within a company, that is Eco Company. I was not belong to that company. I've never attended meetings, I've never sit with any council member for them to promise me anything. How will I know that those people, they promised these people for me to go on, to be going after them? You see? So it was just a bunch of false allegations against me and nothing else. You see? So that's what he said. in front of the late Vincent Jata. So Vincent Jata said, what you said, Kebbeh? I said, that is not true, sir. He said, then I refer you to Army Commander's orders. I said, okay, thank you very much. So that's the time. They asked me to fall out. When I was going with my crutches, I met in the door, at the door, sorry, these military police officers. They said, Couple Kebbeh. I said, yes. I said, you are going to mile 2. I said, no problem. That's how they took me to the guard room, put me inside the cell, let me sit there. They go and prepare their vehicle, come. That's how they bring me to mile 2.
You mentioned that the bullet was still lodged in your thigh.
Up till now.
How were your injuries then at that time?
I was just managing with pains, that's all the time, because I cannot remove it, and I cannot stop the pain, so I was all the time with pain.
So what kind of treatment did you receive while you were at RVTH?
No, okay, the time they were taking me to RVTH, the wound started getting septic. Because of just 3 days, I was lying down there untreated. So they cannot do anything, and thank God, that is what saved me. Because if they happened to touch this wound at that time, I could have ended up sitting on a wheelchair, because where this bullet is buried is very serious. So, but because of the wound started changing, they decided to dress the wound until it healed up, then they look what to do further. On the whole, they were told that there are cuttings inside the wound. But these cuttings were just forced in without tying them. So these people, they just take out what they feel is, they can take it out and they don't see anything, so they decided to dress the wound. While at that time, there are some cuttings left inside the wound. So the day those cuttings reacted inside that wound, it was more severe than even the bullet that I received that day. The whole night I could not sleep. I was crying throughout. The doctor on call was Dr. Jan, the one at this place, Afrimed now. He was called. He came to my bed around 6:30 to 7. The time they opened the wound, we see black things coming out from it. So that's the time he prescribed a medication for me, which I bought from my own pocket. It was not available at the hospital at the time. So that's what they used to heal up my leg.
You had mentioned earlier that the bullet passed through from your right to your left thigh.
Yeah.
That means there was an opening.
Yes, yes.
There were 2 openings on your left thigh.
Yeah.
And 1 opening on your right thigh.
Yeah.
Now, can you take us through step by step what happened when you got to mile 2 prisons?
I was taken to mile 2. From the orders, they took me to the guard room. They locked me inside the cell there. I was sitting down. Then later they prepared their vehicle and come and take me to mile 2. So they escorted me to mile 2 to the office. Then from there, they took me to confinement number 4.
Were you processed in any way when you got to mile 2?
No, there was nothing done. I was just taken there. I was sitting. Just a little, they said, yes, we can go. That's how they escorted me with some prison police. So we went inside the confinement. They put me on cell number 2. It was break time, I can fully remember, because they used to break 12 o'clock and come back 2 o'clock. So I met, the place was so quiet on the whole, other officers were in. So I was locked in cell number 2. After they locked the main gate, I heard Captain Kebbeh's voice. He said, who is that? I said, it's me, sir, Kebbeh. He said, Kebbeh, what brought you here? I said, it's these people. I understand that you are wounded in your leg. I said, yes, but with all that I am brought here. So that's how everything went. So till they came back by 2 o'clock and opened them. So they meet these prison officers. Some of them are very wicked, let me tell you this. With all the wound I'm having, the crutches I'm walking in, they said their tradition, they have to change your legs when you go in there. So at the time, the senior man at the confinement wing was Sergeant Jawando. I think he's dead now. So they have to put those chains on my legs. But when Kambi and Chongan came out and they protested and said, no, this man is suffering, you want to put chain on him again. What is this? So you have to take it out. They even said I should not have rest because that is not part of their tradition. I should wait for at least a week or so. But these people protested again. They said, no, you have to. From that evening, they started taking me out. You see?
We have received testimony at this commission that in mile 2, the bed that was given to the inmates, it only had a plank of wood on it.
Oh, yeah.
And that they were given chamber pots as well to use for their toilets.
Yeah.
Given your condition, did they give you any preferential treatment to ease your pain?
No. There was no.
How did you cope in the cell?
Struggling just to survive, survival of the fittest. With the help of Mafuji Sonko, I have respect for that guy. Every morning he will come and clean my cell, help me to sit outside. Before going to bed, he will go and fill the water of my bucket, this thing, the 5-gallon water this thing for me, put it inside, and help me to get inside and be in my cell.
Did you receive any medical attention while you were there?
No, they don't give you anything. They don't give you anything. They don't give you anything. At the time, I was not even taking medicine, only painkillers. That's the time I was in the clinic. But when I was going to my two, they don't take me along with anything. And there, even one tablet, if they don't prescribe it for you, they give it to them. They will not allow you to have it, unless you smuggle it yourself. You see, because those people are very negative. Anything they want to do, they think that you wanted to commit suicide or I don't know what. So if you are dying, they will just call these people until they came. That's the time you have treatment. If not, you have a problem.
Were you allowed to go to the hospital while you were at mile 2?
No, I don't go to the hospital.
How did you cope in your condition?
I was there struggling, as I said before, with the help of Mafuji. Mafuji was doing a lot for me. Until one fine day when I fell down, it was a big problem. You see, because somebody who cannot squat, you know, those toilets, they don't have these floor toilets. You see? So you just try to manage yourself. The toilets are very small. Sometimes I have to screen myself like this, just to ease myself. You see? I really struggled a lot there. So when I fell down, it was a period of 22nd July. These people were called, they said they are on standby, they cannot come. I was there for the whole week with severe pain.
When you fell down, did it affect your injuries?
Of course, yes. My leg had a problem again. You know, this leg, the day the bullet enters this place, there was no bone that was left. It broke all the bones. So it's only callus that is holding this leg. I cannot move it properly up to today, let me tell you this. There are certain movements, if I did it, ask my family, I have to sit for some time before being able to walk. So I fell down there, it had a problem again. I was there, they called us here there on 22nd July celebration. For a week, I was with that there. We even appealed to them for Major Njai Pacha to come and assist me. They accepted less than 5 minutes, they say no. They think that if I'm with Major Njai in one cell, something might happen. What is going to happen? Somebody whose legs are not good. Those people are wicked. So I was there until after the 22nd July. Before, they sent one medical officer, this small boy, Kombo, that's his name. He was from the Gendarmerie. I don't know his full name, but they used to call him locally Kombo. So he came, he saw how my leg was. He said, sir, I'm not going to touch this. That's what he told me, I'm not going to touch this. I'll let me go and report back to Lysar. And that's how he went. Even paracetamol, he did not give it to me. So he went back and explained to Laisar, according to him, what she told me. Then after the celebration, they sent that Kuli. He came with the ambulance and they took me back to RBTH. It was a problem when the doctors saw me in that condition.
Which Koli are you referring to?
I think Islamin Koli, the one who testified the last time I was saying that he was assisting me the time I was shot.
That will be your second time going to the RBTH?
Yeah, that's the second time.
What happened when you got there?
So when I got there, it was a problem. There was a surgeon there by the name Dr. Martin. He was a German. They discharged me the time I was going first. They even escorted me. My wife was there. This guy sitting here, she was the one who packed all my things and take them back home. So I was walking on crutches. I wasn't that much well, but I can move with crutches. So when they saw me, I cannot walk. Dr. Martin said, what the hell is happening? See, this man was here walking with crutches. Now he's here, he cannot walk. Now you must have to explain what is wrong with this man. So that's where the problem comes. He said he's not going to admit me unless they explain to him why I came with that condition. Maybe they were suspecting that there is foul play in there or not. Okay, that's the time they called the army headquarters. So this man was called Dennis Coker, who was the twice of the army commander at the time. He's in the US now. He was a major at the time, major or captain, if I can fully remember. Then when he came, we explained everything, the scenario to him. He said to the doctors, Dr. Martin, that this man lying down here is my brother. Though I seniored him in the army, both service and rank, but he's older than me. 1, 2, he was my technician. All my furniture was made by this man. He is more a brother to me than a colleague and than a working colleague. So what you people are asking, the people who are to explain that to you, they will never come here. So it's best we see the interest of the person that is lying down here with pain and readmit him. That's how they come to conclusion. They decided to admit me. Then I was there for a period. They come and discharge me again and take me to Mile 2.
Can you recall when you went back to RBTH? Just the year.
I think, is it not, I think it's 96, 95, 96, something like that. Yes, it should be 96, I see.
And for how long did you remain at RBTH this time around?
No, less than even 2 months. They just come and pack me back, pick me and take me back.
At this point, were you charged for any offense?
No, the time they took me to serious orders, I was referred to Army Commander. One fine day, before having that problem, I was taken to Army Headquarters for orders. Me, Captain Kambi, I think Pastor Rajan Press, the former IG. Yes, I forgot the fourth person. Anyway, so when we went there, the Army commanders read our charge sheet. We said we are not guilty. He said, okay, I refer you to court martial. I said, fine. Then we went back to Mile 2. Within that period, I have problem. That's the time they readmit me again. So there was no court martial that took place.
At this point, did you have access to any lawyers?
No.
So what happened after you were discharged?
So I was there till one fine day. Before I was discharged, there was one raid at the Mile 2 prisons. It was a joint raid. That's how I was informed. Anyway, they said there is a joint raid because there are problems inside the main yard that they want to settle. So it was combined forces, this paramilitary, military, and the police. So when they came, during the raid, they were firing tear gas inside the main camp, the main yard. So, you know, the smoke is the air that brought inside the confinement area. So people who have left, they just broke their cells and come out in the open. Me, I don't have. I cannot break my door, so I was there. I inhaled too much of the gas. I fainted for 4 hours. I was lying down. During the raid, they happened to shot 2 inmates there. The late Lamin Dawa, who was executed among those 9 people, plus 1 Senegalese, Nyas. He was shot on the thigh too. So Lamin have this thing on the stomach. So one officer see me lying down, motionless. This man close to walk. Went to my mother and tell him that your son is dead. I stayed for almost 1 year without seeing any of my family before they leave me. So,
This incident happened after you were discharged from the RVTH the second time,
yeah,
right?
the second time, yeah. You see, because by the time they come, just come and release all the soldiers there, the senior men, except me and one Lamin Bojang. So I was there. So that's the time this raid happened. So that happened to me. I fainted for 4 hours, so they come and inform my mom that I was dead. Later, I managed to smuggle 1 note and give it to 1 officer to bring it to my mother. So it was a problem. My brother was explaining to me. The time this man said, "It's your son who sent me to you." My mother just grabbed him. "You killed my son today, you are telling me it's my son who sent him." So it's the boys who check, look at the note and tell mom that yes, this is Alagie's writing. That's what made him to come. So,
After that incident and after your family received news that you were still alive,
yeah.
did they have access to you while you were in prison?
No. After my readmission, that reading, from that time up to the time of my release, there was no visitor for me, no provision, no nothing. I was just there.
You mentioned that you were never charged with any offense and
No.
you didn't have access to a lawyer.
No.
Were you still considered as an active member of the Gambian National Army then?
Well, to my observation, yes, because I was detained I had this problem in 1994, November. Excuse me. My salary was paid from November 1994 to 1996.
You were in Mile 2 then. How did you know that your salary was paid?
No, the time I was admitted, they used to pay my salary. And my second wife used to go and collect this from my bank and bring it to the hospital. So the time of my readmission, that's why I told you it's 1996, she went to the bank and there was no money sent to the bank. I forgot the exact month. So she came back and said, darling, these people, they don't send anything in your account. I said, okay, maybe they have stopped my salary from now. So that's how it was.
While you were in prison, did you receive any letter from the army suggesting that you were no longer part of the Gambia National Army?
Up to today, no.
For how long were you in Mile 2?
4 good years, with the intervals of admitting and going to teaching. Yeah.
During that 4 years, you've already told us about 2 incidents where you were admitted at RVTH.
Yeah.
How many times were you at the hospital?
I'm not getting you. How many times?
During those 4 years,
yes.
You've already mentioned 2 incidents wherein you were admitted at RVTH.
Yes.
During those 4 years, apart from those 2 incidents, were you admitted again at RVTH
No.
for your injuries?
I was not.
During the 4 years you were in Mile 2, did your injuries get any better?
No. It was still the same. There was nothing that was done. You see, only the wound got healed, but the leg was in this thing. wasn't strong for me to do anything with it. I was just moving out with crutches. Until the time I was released, I was on crutches.
Did you sustain any other injuries as a result of being incarcerated in that condition?
Not actually, only the torture, mental torture, because somebody in that 1 meter 50 by 2 meter 50 alone, with all the problems that you are having, the food is not good, nobody cares about you.
Can you tell us what eventually led to your release?
Not to my knowledge. It was just one fine day, a day I will never forget. On the 1st of October, 1998, I was there in the morning. It's just God, Allah, who makes me to react that morning. I was very calm, because I wake up in the morning, the in-charge came, who was Thomas at the time. He was responsible of confinement. After 1 year plus, I don't see my family. I don't know, only the notes that I'm smuggling. Other than that, nobody comes to me. So, my father died in 1995. Up to today, I don't see the dead body. So, that only first, I just wake up in the morning, I called Thomas, he said, he come, I said, Thomas, sit down. I said, what have I done, Thomas? He said, locally, Magji, Luhel. I said, Thomas, this is serious. I'm here for how many years without seeing my family? I haven't done anything. What is the problem? He said, sir, definitely we are sorry about this condition. Me, if I see you, I always feel ashamed.
Can you please give us the first name of Thomas?
I think he's the prison commissioner as of now, but I don't know if his first name. We used to call him Thomas.
His rank then?
The prison ranks, I think he was APO at that time. I don't know, assistant lieutenant, I don't know, assistant police. I forgot anyway. I don't know, I'm not familiar with the prison ranks, to be quite honest with you. Why they used to call him APO, I don't know, OPO Thomas. So, but he was in charge of confinement at the time. So when I tell him this, he said, now tell me, whom do you want to see? I said, my first wife is just at Banjul here, so you can tell her to come. He said, okay, give me their number. I just give him my wife's number. By the time we are having these landlines in my aunt's house, so I gave him the number. He put it inside his pocket. He said he will call Hadim, my wife. We went out. That's the last time we saw. Then until around 1:30, according to him, he was explaining. He said he was giving assignment, other assignment to do. So he was taking something out from his pocket. At the time he see the note, he said, hey, let me go and call this lady before it's late. So upon approaching the office, the DCP, Deputy Commissioner at the time, Jobate, tell him, Thomas, he said, yes, go and call Mr. Kebbeh. So that's the time he came to the confinement, because at that time, they don't close me during their break. When they open me in the morning, they leave me there till 5 o'clock. When they are going home, that's the time we go to bed. So he came and said, you are wanted at the office. I said, okay, no problem. He said, if at all you are going home, that's it. If not, definitely I forgot to call your wife, but I called her so that she can come tomorrow. I said, no problem, feel fine. Then upon approaching the main door of the office, the water was just coming out. He said, you are bringing this man, where is he? This man is going home. So that's the time I saw Baji, the former interior minister. He was at the police at the time. He was not appointed minister at the time. He was the one who came for my release.
Can you recall his first name?
I forgot his first name, to be quiet. What, Baji? I forgot his first name there, to be quite honest with you. It's Usman Baji, I think, Usman. Yeah. Usman Baji. So he came for my release. Then I was let out. Then we both let the police pick up that he came with up to the army headquarters. He handed me over to the army command.
Sir Kebbeh, can you please speak into the mic? Your voice is fading.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So I said, as Mr. Baji who come and pick me, he came for my release. So we went to the army headquarters, me and him. So he handed me over to the army commander at that time, who was Samsudin Sar. So he told me that anyway, you are given amnesty by the head of state, total amnesty. He said that all your benefits will be paid to you. So he cracked some jokes there, give me some piece of advice, then tell me you can go home. When we are ready, we'll get back to you. I said, okay. That's how I went, meet the family. In my absence, I took a taxi from, how to call it again, Marina Pari to Gloucester, because I was completely lost. So even to recognize our compound was a problem. It's my brother's wife who saw me inside the car. He said, called my wife, said, your husband is inside the car. That's how they asked the driver to turn and come. So I stayed home. My mother came and took me to his place at Tarinding because I was not that much well. I was on crutches still. Then 2 weeks after, I was called by some Sudin Sar, the army commander, to go and answer. So I went there. He said, the army has constraint. They cannot pay this money, so it's that. So that's how I went home. After, they give me certificate, which is very contradicting. The soldier that you detained, we said he was attempting to coup you. After 4 years of detention, you decided to give him military certificate, stating that that soldier voluntarily retired 1995. And I was detained up to 1998.
Do you have that certificate with you?
I have it with me. I have it with me. That's the military certificate they give me and the testimony.
Can you please show the commissioners the certificate? Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'd like to exhibit the said certificate.
Request granted.
I'll provide the exhibit number later on. So we'll just have the commissioners look at it, then we'll provide it in the afternoon, the exhibit number, just to be sure of the number.
Fine, that's all right with us. Thank you.
While the commissioners are looking at the certificate, Mr. Chairman, may I proceed with the questions for the witness, not to waste time? You said you went to the Army Commander's office, that's Samsudin Sar,
Yes.
And then you were given this certificate.
Yes.
And what did he say the certificate was for?
Maybe if I want, according to what they said there, if anybody wants my service in the future, they can carry on, no problem.
Were you given any form of compensation or whatsoever, since they mentioned that they could not pay you your gratuities?
After this certificate they gave me, they asked me to go and correct my gratuity, that is the stated 6 years period that they said I had voluntarily retired. So I went to the treasury, they gave me $7,000, which was not even paid to me. It was sent to my bank. On the whole, that account wasn't closed the time they stopped my salary. So these people, they took their ledger fees out of it. I went home with $3,000 some few dollars.
After that, and after giving a certificate saying that you voluntarily resigned from the army, did you obtain a job, that is, after your release?
Yes, as an elderly somebody want to the breadwinner of my family, I cannot sit like that. I seated for just a little period simply because I was having serious pain on my leg, and the leg wasn't strong enough for me to lift the crutches, and I cannot walk with crutches. So after that period, I worked with seafood company. Life is complex at the bridge there, as their chief security. So my boss there, who was a female white man by the name Anika, she even tried one time to assist me to go abroad for the treatment. But when they told her about the bill, he said he cannot foot the bill, or let her write to the army headquarters so that they can pay half, she will pay half for my treatment, but that doesn't work. We wrote to them, they don't respond. I went to the Human Rights Office. I met Emmanuel Juf, I think, who was the lawyer at the time there. I showed him all my documents. By the time I was having everything with me, my pay slips, the time they stopped my salary, my certificates, the extras and everything were intact at the time. So he told me, definitely, my brother, you have case against these people, but at this present moment, if you want to take these people to court, you are just wasting your time because they will not respond to you. And I agree with him because I went to the ombudsman, the office that they established, and nothing comes out of it. So if he told me that, then I know that what he's saying is true. So I have to give away everything. See, after I work with GPA, then now I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting at home now.
You had told us that you were married before your arrest.
Yes, with
How
3
many
wives.
kids did you have then?
I have 5 boys, 4 girls.
Had 9 children.
Yeah.
What was the impact of your detention on your family?
It was horrible. It was horrible because it's just like somebody who is on a seat, you just come and remove the seat away from him. I was the breadwinner of my family, the first son of my mother, and my father too. So if I am taking away or not just cause from my family, obviously they are not going to be fine.
Mr. Chairman, that will be all from me for the witness. If the commissioners have questions for the witness, this will be a good time for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Counsel, and thank you very much, Mr. Kebbeh, for your testimony.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Sama, do you have any questions? Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Alagie Kebbeh.
Yes, sir.
I'm so sorry for the ordeal that you went through during those past years.
Thank you.
It's pathetic. Now, from the doctors at the RVTH, did they give you any referral recommendation for the bullets to be extracted from your leg?
Yes, I was boarded at the RBTH. I had a medical board there, which they recommend that I should go for overseas treatment. The documents were with me. Unfortunately, there was an inferno in my house, so all those documents were born. So that's why I cannot produce them. But the records are still in the records office at the RVGH. If necessary, I can go and search for them, and I know I will get them. Even this military certificate, I just went to my former boss at the GPA and explained my problem to him that I'm coming to meet you guys, and my certificate was born. So he said, I'll go to the records office and try and get you one. He's the one who gets this photocopy and bring it for me.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Jones. You have the floor.
Mr. Kebbeh, for the purpose of the committees within the commission, I'd just like to ask a few follow-up questions regarding your children.
No problem.
You had 9 children.
Yes.
Were all 9 children school-going children as at that time?
Yes, of course. Only the last one, which I named him after a friend of mine. We bear the same name, Alagie Kamara. He was the fish supplier of the army. So I named him after my last child, who was 6 months old the time I was having this problem.
Okay, your salary stopped 2 years into your detention in '96.
Yeah.
Were they able to continue going to school as at that time?
No, because when I was released, I met all my kids were sitting at home. None of them was going to school, honest to Mohammed.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Deputy Chair, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Kebbeh.
Welcome.
I have 2 questions. One is family related, and the other one is in terms of your retirement.
Yeah.
The first one, when they told your mother that you had died, did your wives have to go into mourning?
No, not actually, because my mother did not even relay that message to my wife. Because let me tell you, this woman is not that it's my mother, but she's a God faithful person. Even the time I was arrested, those Alagies, they don't know my whereabouts. My uncles came to the house. One of my uncles was staying at Banyurindi. He came and gathered the whole family and tell my mother that I learned that Kebbeh is killed. Because these people, anybody they place their hand on, they will kill you. So we want to make charity for Kebbeh. They called my mom from Tarinding. She came. When they explained their story to her, he said, no, my son is not dead. He said, my uncle told her that either these people, anybody that fall in their hands, they will kill you. And there is somebody who came up to my house and told me that Kebbeh was killed in his front. My mother said, no. He said, Kebbeh is your nephew. They said, yes. He said, okay, you can prepare charity for Kebbeh, but me, I'm going home. That's how she left the house. That is what made them to postpone that charity. 3 days after, I was taken to hospital.
Thank you. We salute the courageous mother for taking such a stand. Now, this is in relation to your voluntary retirement. Voluntary retirement is normally instigated by the person who wants to retire.
Yes.
So how can the Army now give you a certificate of voluntary retirement when you did not ask for it?
Maybe it's their way of doing things. I don't know. Because somebody who was detained up to 1998, you just give him certificate and said he retired 1995. I cannot understand that. I just hold it and read it like this and go home. Because at the time you cannot do anything. I've been to the ombudsman, office that was established by them. For anybody who has complaints against them or any other person to go and lodge it there, there was nothing that come out from it. I went to the Human Rights Office. I told you what this man told me, Alagie. So I just decided to hold my hands and leave everything in the hands of God.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kebbeh.
You're welcome, madam.
Thank you. Imam Jallo, you have the floor, please.
Mr. Kebbeh,
Yes, sir, Imam.
you seem to suggest that there was mistaken identity in your case, and for which you have been punished for a long time. Did you, during this period, make any effort to extricate yourself, like by explaining to the authorities that you were, or to some other, particularly the authorities? Did you make any effort to clear yourself?
Imam, at the time, definitely I could not do anything about this, simply because everything was in their hands, and they make me to handicap, especially Edward Singase. He is the one who shot me, and he was playing all these games to delay me, because I don't see the reason why they were releasing officers, leaving me behind. They wounded somebody. You see? So there was a time Dr. Jones came to my hospital bed and said, Mr. Kebbeh, I said, yes, I said, I don't put my mouth in people's problem, but I am asked to write about your leg. I said, you're welcome, sir. And later I understand that he wrote and sent it to the State House, to the authorities there. But unfortunately, at that time, Edward was the vice chairman. So I think that is what makes everything to be subsided. He will not want to see me outside with how I was, and he is the author of everything. This question of misidentity, I don't buy that, to be quite honest with you, because we are all soldiers, we know each other. What I can say is out of jealousy, out of wickedness, that's all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Imam C, you have the floor, please.
Alagie Kebbeh.
Wow,
Alagie
Imam.
Kebbeh. When you alighted from the vehicle, who slapped you?
JCB Momambej.
I was slapped by JCB.
Thank you. There are no other. Oh, Commissioner Carr, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioner Carr, I have two questions. The first is, were you allowed family visits in prison?
Yes. Initially I was, but after they stopped everything.
Thank you. The second question is, you said the condition of the food wasn't good. I'd like to have more explanation on that, please. Thanks.
Well, the previous people that testify here about Mile 2 have said it all. Mile 2, according to my understanding, prisons are rehabilitation centers, but not in the Gambia. Here is a dumping center, especially at the time. All those people there are Jolas. They all claim to be relative of Yahya Jammeh. The moment you enter there, they see you as an enemy to Yahya Jammeh. So not a single favor they will do it for you. It's only one person who was trying his best for us, who is Ablai Bojang. And I understand that that boy was more related to Yahya Jammeh than any other person there. To be quite honest with you, even during the time of Ramadan, that boy will venture to stay with us there up to 11 o'clock and then go home. But not like other people. We were tortured mentally, physically, everything. You cannot understand. You see, that place is not good. It's not good, to be quite honest with you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kebbeh. the ordeal you endured is quite extraordinary. Sorry about it, and we share your pain. At this point, do you have any concluding remarks to make? If you do, please proceed.
Okay, I just have a small thing. Good afternoon to everybody here, from Mr. Chairman to all here today. I thank the TRRC for the job well done, and I am sending my very sorrowful for the dead and the wounded people. And I am asking all Gambians to respect the rule of law. I thank you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us. Amen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much indeed, and thanks again for coming to testify before the Commission. Council, do we have witness lined up for the afternoon?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we do, and we're ready to proceed at 2:30 today. Thank you.
Splendid. So the meeting would stand adjourned. We come back here at 2:30. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.